The Yetzer, what's his job? You wake up in the morning, what's your job? What's your job in the morning? Everybody know what the job in the morning is? Serve a Kadosh Baruch Hu. That's your job in the world. You were created to serve the Master. That's your job in the world. The Gemara Masechet Chagigah, page 4a, says, if you did not find a way to sanctify a Kadosh Baruch Hu's name today, it was better off you were never born. Why? You didn't do your job. He's the Master. He's the king. A king has servants. You're one of them. If you served him today, Chazaku Baruch. You didn't serve him today, you have a serious problem. You have a serious problem. Why? You didn't serve the king. It's not your friend. So our job in the world, each one of us, men, women, boys, girls, children, adults, is to serve Hashem. Full force. What's the Yetzer's job? Yetzer's job is to kill you. Yetzer's job is to stop you from serving Hashem. First he comes and he tells you something to convince you not to go pray. Something to convince you not to do a mitzvot. Why? He tries to give you an inclination. He goes, listen, you could pray, but pray later. Why don't you play a few games first? Come on, you're almost beating the game. Couple more rounds, and then you pray. He's not going to tell you don't do the mitzvah outright, because then you will know it's the Yetzer talking to you. He's going to look to you like a rabbi. He's going to say, no, listen, do the mitzvah, but just have fun a little bit first. Do the mitzvah, but just write this email first. Do the mitzvah, but just finish this appointment first. You know, just do other stuff first, then do the mitzvah. Why? Because now the longer you take, the less fire you have for this mitzvah. That's why the Gemara in Masechet Yoma says, why do we put on the tefillin of the yad before the tefillin of the rosh? Now you don't need to be a big tzaddik to know that the more important tefillin is the tefillin of the rosh. You could live without a yad, you could live without an arm, but you can't live without a rosh. That's where your neshama is. So the tefillin that's more important, that's more holy, is the one of the head. So which tefillin should you put on first? The more important one, no? How can we put on the first one? We put on the first one because we learned from Avraham Avinu. A mitzvah, you never delay. Your arm naturally, whereas if you take let's say you put it on your left arm, and you're going to use your right arm to put it, where is your right arm going to reach first, physically? Your head or your arm, as you lift it naturally? Your arm. Why? Because that's the way it is. It reaches your arm. Chazal says in the Gemara Masechet Yoma, that's enough of a reason to put the tefillin on the arm first. Why? Just get something done while you're ahead. Who knows if you're going to survive to see the head? Put it on the arm first. After you put it on the arm, then put it on the head. Why? Because you got to the arm first. Even though the head is more important, it's more important to do the first mitzvah that you get to. Now, there is a pasuk in the Torah that Chazal says, wait a minute, but there's also a pasuk that says, literally, put it on the arm, then put it on the head. Yes, there is, but Chazal puts even more chizuk on it, saying that there's also more limud. Point is, the Yetzer is going to tell you, don't do this mitzvah, do it later. After you don't do it, he goes to Hashem and he prosecutes against you. So you get punished. Who's the punisher? Satan. And every single day, a Jew has to act as if the Satan himself is standing over his head with a huge axe, ready to chop off his head. And Chazal says, if he's not scared to death that the Satan is about to chop off his head, that's already because he chopped it. You're already working for him full time and you don't even realize it. So that's why, Rabotai, it's very, very important for a person to understand that your obligation in the world is to serve Hashem. The Satan's obligation in the world is to be your resistance, because that's where you get a reward for it. If it was easy for us to do mitzvot, then there's no reason for us to get paid for it. The Satan's job is to be the resistance.